Many of our clients are keen to explore retirement options in the US. Perhaps they are not quite old enough to retire at present, but retirement is very much on the horizon. The only way to fully retire in the US, without any obligations whatsoever, would be to obtain a green card. The question becomes, can an E2 visa ever lead to a green card? In this presentation, we'll discuss this issue in some depth so you can consider your options. The E2 visa is designed to enable investors to become business owners, job creators for the American economy. This is the sole purpose for granting the E2 visa as far as US immigration is concerned. This having been said, once you are here in the US, there may be green card opportunities that you might want to explore. For example, you may have an immediate family member, brother, sister, parent, or child that is already a US citizen who could sponsor you for your green card. Depending on the category of the immediate family member, the green card application process could be as short as 12 months if your US citizen child who is over 21 is sponsoring you. Alternatively, if you're being sponsored by a sibling, then the wait could be more like 8 years or so. Another factor as to the waiting time will also depend on your nationality. People from India, China, Mexico, and the Philippines often have the longest wait times due to the volume of applications coming in from these regions. Many of our clients have family members who can sponsor them, so in the meantime, they are more than happy to relocate on the E2 visa until that application comes through. As long as they are able to run their own business and live the American dream, they are perfectly fine to wait until their green card is processed. The E2 visa is just a stopgap. If you do not have a US citizen family member who could sponsor you, then other options may be viable for you. For example, as an E2 visa holder, if you are married, then one spouse will always be eligible for a work permit while the other spouse runs the E2 business. The goal here would be for the spouse with the work permit to pursue green card sponsorship, and then once that green card is approved and issued, then you can both retire at will. It's very important that even from your first E2 visa, you plan your retirement, unless you want to retire back at home. If you are single, then perhaps marriage to a US citizen could be a possibility for you. If you marry an American citizen, then your spouse can sponsor you for a green card. At present, US immigration law does not recognize same-sex relationships, even though some states do. If marriage is not an option, then even while running your E2 visa business, you may be able to find an employer that might be willing to sponsor you for a green card. Green card sponsorship by an employer can take years, 1 to 5 years. However, if you have a good relationship with a possible employer, he might be willing to sponsor you, even though the process can take several years. Then, you could continue to work in your E2 business until the application process was completed. Alternatively, if you have a bachelor's degree or an equivalent professional qualification, you could switch from your E2 visa status to the H-1B graduate visa. In this case, you could work for that employer under your new H-1B visa until your green card could be processed for you. Some opportunities never arise until you're actually living in the US, so the E2 visa is an excellent starting point. As you can see, there are many options you could take advantage of in order to obtain a green card in the future. With the E2 visa, you can take as long as you need. Who knows what could be around the corner? There could even be changes in immigration law that could open up even more possibilities for you. I guess the key lesson in all of this is to at least begin the journey and see where it leads.